Good evening. Good evening. Everybody's coming on in. The water's warm and it's a hot night tonight in Seaforth and One Marketplace. My name's Dave Pike and it's Wednesday, March 26th. Great to have you all here tonight. Boy, we got a lot of people funneling in the room. The chat is open. If you want to say hi, love to hear from you, where you're coming in from. We also have the Q&A open. And tonight, if you have a question, and regarding One Marketplace and how to build and all the processes, put your questions in there, okay? Because that's what we're really going to be focusing on tonight. You've got two of the top industry's top builders. You got the number one guy, and the other guy is not far behind him. And then you got our founder, Mark Seaforth, who's going to join us in just a few minutes as well. So it's going to be an interesting night. We're going to have a great time. Great to see Wade Rosella here from the Dominican. Absolutely. Bruce Giggers, great to see you. Bob Shantz. We've got everybody coming in the room. This is fantastic. Great to see you guys. So has everybody taken their PFPB today? I hope you have. I know I did. And I took my ASA Plus as well. ASA Plus, I love that stuff. It's so good. You know, you can put it on anything. You put it on ice cream. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. And of course, we've got a lot of great products and different things. And I hope you're taking advantage of Voyager. You know, a lot of people don't talk much about Voyager. They just think it's, well, I'm not traveling. You know how many discounts are available on Voyager that you have access to? It's unbelievable. It's great. So we're going to get this meeting started in just a minute or two as more people are still funneling in the room. So this is a great call tonight. We've got a lot of great information. If you got a pad and pen, get it out because you want to take notes tonight. Of course, we're recording this call and you'll be able to rewatch it. But it's always good to write something down. You know, your memory is a lot better if you take the time to write it down. Make notes as you go, okay? Do that because what's happening in this business over the next few months is going to be tremendous. And you want to be here for it all and you want to take full advantage of what we have to offer. Great to see Mike Sellers. Hope you're doing well, Mike. Mr. John Spitaleri in Atlanta. Good to see you, John. The storage warrior himself. Great to see you. Wow, we got a lot of folks here from Canada. Michelle, great to see you. Christina Downward, great to see you too. And it's been what a ride so far. Oh, wow, there's Shirley. She's here. Pierre. A lot of our French-Canadian friends are here. Deborah Ruffin from Sugar Land, Texas is here. Well, great to see everybody. So you know what? I think it's time we're going to get started here. So I want to bring on our first guest tonight. He's a tremendous builder and a better man. This guy, I've gotten to know him over the last few months, and he is a star, not only in our business, but just in the people business. He's a great guy to be around. I spent some time with him out in San Diego, and he's a lot of fun, and he's got so much heart. This gentleman has so much heart. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Brian Cromley. Brian.
Hey. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir, I can. Take it away, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. David Pike. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone calling in from around the world. We are so fired up, so excited. I want to give a huge shout out to all the brand new members, the brand new Premier members, the brand new affiliates. We've got so much velocity, so much momentum, so much excitement happening. Tonight is a very, 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 very special night for you. So make sure you have a notebook and a pen. Jot down all the information we're going to share tonight because we got a lot of information we're going to convey to you. Get back to the person who invited you, ladies and gentlemen. Get your questions answered, get your position, get time stamped, get locked and loaded so you can be part of the history in the making. We are about to change this whole entire industry starting tonight. I am so excited because with the products that we have that we've already been using and enjoying, people's lives are being changed, and it's only just a stepping stone. Tonight is a chance for you to hear from the founder of the company. You're going to hear from a double crown in the industry, someone who's a legend in the industry, a future Hall of Famer in the industry. He's a 4-time published author in the industry, has done exceptionally well. And many of us have learned from his experience, knowledge, and expertise on how to build businesses. So we're going to give you the how, what, and why this evening. But we are going to have an open forum at the end. So make sure you put your questions in the Q&A. And I have the honor and the privilege to bring on someone I've known for a little over 2 decades, had the privilege to work in his business for a long time, watched him all over the years, followed his strategies, techniques, business etiquette, and skill sets, and it's been able to help me become very successful in this industry and duplicate that protocol. I have the great honor to introduce from Ponte Verde, Florida, double crown ambassador in the industry, Hall of Famer, legend in the industry, my friend, my team member, my support system, Mr. Brig Hart. Brig, are you there?
Let's see if I can. There we go. Look at me. I'm a technical genius. I unmuted and got my video going all at one time. 2 punches. Hey, Brian, thank you. Brian, good to see you. Thank you. Mark's coming up next, so y'all get ready. I'm just priming the pump. David primed the pump. Brian's kind of he's on his game right now. He's found something that he's excited about, and I listened to every word anyone says on these, and the word that he used 5, 6 times was he's excited. Now, why is he excited? Well, we're all here because if this isn't something that we're rallying around, then you're on the wrong call. This is an opportunity for anybody 18 to 108. If you're over 108, then Doge is coming after you because you're still getting something you shouldn't be getting. But if you're 108, you must have been on acai and the PFBB longer than we've been on it. But we're excited for these reasons. People can live in life and they can go through their lives just kind of living, doing what they're doing, and getting by, so to speak. There came a point in my life, just like Brian's, just like Mark did, and David did the same thing, where you realize, this isn't exactly what I signed up for. I'm looking for something more in life. I myself, and Mark's going to talk about, one of the books that I've written that I believe is more relevant today than the day I wrote it. And it's almost 20 years ago, not 20 years, but that I wrote the book. It's more relevant today because of this. I was at a point in my life where many of you are. The reason you're listening to Brian, listening to me, listening to whoever is talking to you about this One Marketplace and CFORTH Marketing is we're looking for something more than what we have. In other words, I got to a point where if you're not, I got way down to the point where I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of my traditional life. It wasn't going the way I wanted it to. Well, I was doing what I knew to do, and then circumstances kicked in. Nobody can control inflation, and nobody can control what happens in the world with world wars and this and that, depressions, recessions, and all that. That's the world going on. Your little world, your little bubble, what can you control? Well, the decisions you make kind of dictate the result that you're going to get in life. I had started traditional businesses, surf shops, because the only thing I knew was surfing. I had no education, but I love surfing, and I knew the surfing, skateboarding industry. So I made a living, and I made a good living until the recession hit, and then I went broke. And all of a sudden, I'm in despair, and I'm going, what do I do? Well, a relationship that I didn't plan, that's why as a believer, I call them divine appointments, happen just like Brian's had them, David's had them, Mark's had them. I had a divine appointment whereby which my world was rocked, and it basically presented to me an opportunity that if I didn't open my mind and my heart, I would have never seen it. But I opened my mind, wait a minute, because I had to. I was starving. I was hungry. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I saw this industry. I was introduced to this industry, get this, in April of 1978. I know that goes way back before a lot of you. Some of you on this call weren't even born then. But let me tell you, I was 26 and 26 years old. I saw it. And I thought I had my life all planned out with my surf shops and all that. But the recession took my businesses away. And all of a sudden, a guy shows me a plan of networking. And I'd never, ever seen a business where exponential growth was even a conversation, where one person tells one person, tells one person, tells one person, exponential growth. David knows the numbers. Any of us that have ever done it before, when one person tells one person about something they're excited about, who tells one person, two who tell one is four, that may not sound like much, but that's meager beginnings. The Bible says, don't despise the day of meager beginnings. Well, watch this. Do you know that one doubled every day for 30 days, 5.5 million people? Well, that got my attention. Is that ever happened? Not really. It doesn't happen because we don't live in a perfect world where today I tell one, next day, no, it doesn't happen that way. You know, you tell one who may not tell anybody for a week, who won't tell anybody, or tells a knucklehead. You know, you have to talk to people like yourself who are in a position that want something more, willing to do something about it. Well, watch this. I stayed started in the industry and just didn't quit. Why? Tonight, you're going to hear we love our products, the people behind it. You're going to meet Mark, great guy. That's why I'm still here. Mark's he's just the right kind of guy. I know David and I've had many conversations about Mark because I didn't know him. I knew of him. I just didn't know him. And all of a sudden, David's telling me, man, he's got a big megaphone. He's a promoter. He is. He's the consummate promoter. Thank you. And all of a sudden I realized, I said, well, I can get behind a guy like that because he believes in what he's doing. But that's one of my P's. If the right people are behind this, and then you got the right products, which Mark, he was open to bring my acai on and backed it and got it. And now we've got it. I don't want to go anywhere because I have a product that no one else has that totally has transformed my life. Mark's got his PFPB, which has transformed his life. Well, if we don't have any other products, guess what? We can go build a multi-billion-dollar business on those two products. But guess what? Mark's vision is different, and he's brought it on. We got gas pills, and we got a travel network, and we got CBD, and we got skincare, and we got all these other. But guess what? It's not about all of them. It's just you got to buy into something you believe in. So I believe in the product. So we got people and products. And then Brian's come on because there's a comp plan that's phenomenal. Mark's had this vision, a different kind of a vision, rather than a unilevel or a binary or whatever. Now we have transformed into this pod system and this connective marketing. And believe it or not, I think Mark's got it figured out. It's taken us a couple years, but that's how businesses transform. Mark Bezos didn't happen overnight. But you might think it did, but it didn't. And we're going into 3 years, and all of a sudden we're at a point where the compensation plan, there's many ways to make money, 6, 8, 10 ways. But watch this. There's 3 or 4 that absolutely can transform your life part-time without changing what you're doing. And then you get into the other things. The program for success that we've created, a systematic way to build the business. That's where Brian and I come in. That's why David said, if you got questions, talk to us about how do we build the business? Because that's what we do. I'm not a formulator. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a financier and all that stuff. I have been recruiting people to a brand. And so this CFORTH Marketplace and the One Marketplace is our model. We're excited about it, and that's the word. If you're not excited, you're not going to build it. So we have to, and that's what Brian's doing. He's stoking the fire. He's going all around the country now because we now have a program where you can either be a consumer, customer, an affiliate, or a premier member. I'm a premier member, which is a builder. And affiliates are builders too. They just do it differently. They do it with technology and they're influencers, and that's fine. And it costs them less, and they'll make less. They just have to get more people. I can get less people and make more money because I'm going to bring you in on bigger packages and more money and all that. But it doesn't matter. You join because you believe in the product, you believe in the people, you believe in the program for success, the way to do it. And then I left out the one key one, and that's the purpose. The reason behind Mark doing this, he wants to build a legacy for his family. If you hear his story, it's phenomenal. He's doing it with a right heart. And that's where I come in. As a believer, I am looking for a platform that I can minister to people and help people to help themselves. And this does it. Now, I'm making good money. I'm not doing a whole lot. I'm not overworking. So you can work an A plan, your business, but everyone needs a B and a C plan. To develop wealth, you have to have multiple streams of income. So I would have all of you on this call consider this. Really take a close look at this. Listen to what we're saying. Look at who we are. We're not idiots. We've done this before. We're going to make this thing happen. You can do it with our help. Follow our lead. You get out there on your own, you're not going to make it. And you're going to hear about 100 other things. There's plenty of opportunities out there, but this is the one we've chosen for the reasons I've said. The 5 Ps: the products, the people. Well, the purpose is right. Mark's building it for a legacy. I'm doing it because I wanted a platform to help minister to people. I want to help people to help themselves to become ultimately successful, knowing God's perfect will for their life and doing it. So I incorporate my faith into this, and that's what this is, a platform for me to make it a pulpit and me help minister to you. So the purpose, the product, the people behind it, the products, the compensation plan, and the program for success. So we've got the total package. It's all ready. And guess what? We're getting excited about. So David, I'm going to turn it over to you. And do I introduce Mark, or are you going to? You go ahead.
do.
So let me do this. I met Mark, it's going on 2.5 years ago. I knew of Mark because of what he did in the past. If you've ever heard of Herbalife, understand he didn't create Herbalife. He was a slender now kind of a guy. He created this formula and a mixture that he drank and lost all kinds of weight. And guess what? His first run, can you imagine getting up like Babe Ruth, first time getting up, hitting a home run? Well, Mark did. He hit a home run out of the park. And his business became a multi-billion-dollar business, whatever. And he sold it, and smart guy. And Mark's done real well for himself. Well, at his age, my age, we're not done. We're smarter now. We're not as young as we were, but that doesn't matter. We're wiser than what we were. So we make probably better decisions we made back then. Mark's decided he wants to do it again. I'm in the same position. I don't need the money. I want the money. I don't need any more people. I want the people because there's no retirement in the Bible. So Mark and his wife, his beautiful kids, he has decided, I'm going to build a legacy for my kids past and my kids present, and I want to help some people. I want to bring this back to market. And he brought his product. I brought my product. We've come together. I believe that was divinely inspired by God. And now we're here looking for people who want to join us with the vision Mark's got and our ability to attract people to this particular model. This could be unlimited with no glass ceilings. There's no stopping. You bring in the people, there's no limits. It's right now in the U.S. and Canada, and now we've opened up affiliate-wise around the world. So Mark's the guy leading this thing. We're following his lead. So Mark, why don't you give us an idea where we're going and why you're doing this anyway? So here is Mark CFORTH.
Thank you, Brig. I appreciate it very much. And Brian as well. Guys, I mean, we really are lucky to have the kind of leaders that we've got at this company right now. And Brig, I just saw him about, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we went to an event in Orlando that Brian had, and I got Brig's book. And a lot of times I get books, I go, okay, and I never really look at them or read them and stuff, but I'm thinking, here's a guy that's probably done it better than anybody in the history of this industry, right? I mean, he's if you talk about from a monetary standpoint, there's no doubting, because again, what he accomplished financially in this industry is it's pretty much a level that very few people could even imagine happening. Let's put it that way. But it can happen, and it can happen to anybody. As a matter of fact, if you look at the name of his book, which I really like, Why Not You? Why Not Now? It's kind of good, right? Why not you? Why not now? Well, that's kind of what we're getting ready to do right now with this concept we're doing with One Marketplace. And for everybody that's on this call, I strongly read this book because it'll explain to you very clearly why not you, why not now. And it is about now. And one of the interesting things, even with Brig's success, even with Brian's success, the success that I've had, which I've been very blessed in my life, you know what? This is probably the best chapter of our lives right now, starting now. Not in the past, but starting now. So again, it doesn't matter about age. I mean, as Briggs said, I made my first fortune when I was literally just a kid. And now look at me now, I'm in my 70s and I have more energy and more excitement and more go power today than I did even back then. So it doesn't matter about age, it's a matter about when are you going to do something. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming with One Marketplace. Go through a couple of highlights on the because we got a lot of new people on this call tonight to talk about a little bit of how it works and how the two companies work together. Now Briggs going to be here, Brian's going to be here. They're also going to jump in with me and throw in their thoughts, questions, and ideas as we go through this. So let's begin. Let me do a quick screen share here and let's get into it because I know there's a lot of stuff that people want to know about. So let me get this thing full screen here first. Okay, come on. All right, I gotta wait for something on my board. There it goes. Now I can go full screen. Is that full screen there, Dave? We looking good? All right. So the way this is set up right now, obviously Brig and Brian can jump in anytime, correct? And as I'm going through this. Okay, good. So what we're gonna do is talk a little bit about One Marketplace. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how One Marketplace and CFORTH are really connected at the hip because they're two sister companies that literally are going to work hand in hand. As a matter of fact, right now, since One Marketplace hasn't launched, the way you get a position in One Marketplace is to be in CFORTH now. You can come into CFORTH as either a premier member or an affiliate. And what you've just done when you do that, you've locked your position, which is very important, as you're going to see in a minute, in One Marketplace. And the beauty of that is whatever you do in CFORTH now, even though you can't make money in One Marketplace, you are making money in CFORTH. So as you start to put people in that, maybe a lot of people just want to come in because they want to be in this new concept of connected marketing One Marketplace. But guess what's going to happen? As you're bringing them into CFORTH, because that's a whole different revenue center, you're going to be making money there. So it's not like you're going to be waiting for this. I mean, you're going to be making money in CFORTH. And then when this opens, all of a sudden, you're going to have two revenue streams going at the same time. And when that happens, look out, because it's going to be wild. So with that, let's kind of jump in and talk about this a little bit. So where does it start? Well, it basically starts, and I'm not going to go into the 6 C's for now. I'm just going to highlight some parts of this. And everybody's probably seen the video anyway. If you haven't seen the video, for goodness sakes, get with the person that talked to you about this and make sure you see the preliminary video that we put together right now. And again, this is a preliminary video because we're still fine-tuning, but it's pretty good. And it's getting the message across, and it's working. So let's start with just cost to join. Again, this is the starting point for me that I get excited about. And yeah, I do get a little excited. And Brig always says, Mark, let us do the selling. You just present the information and you do your part. And he's right. But my problem, Brig, is I love this so much. And I get so excited about it because I always look at it from the standpoint of somebody that's in this business for the first time and what it's going to mean to them and the kind of success that they can have. Because I've never worried about my own success in life. And that's one of the best probably teachings I ever got from somebody. It was a mentor of mine. He said, Mark, if you don't worry about your own success, worry about helping other people be successful, your success will come. And it always does and it always will. So with this is kind of the starting point because this membership of $15, what gets me excited about it is when you look at what a person gets, is there really any cost? No, you're literally paid to join. Now, how many business models have you ever seen that you can literally come into and you're paid to join? I've never seen any, but look at what happens here. You get the private access to One Marketplace, which is all of our hundreds of products, which will be thousands of products, which will be tens of thousands of products. And again, our goal at One Marketplace is to have this huge shopping portal one day on a global basis and at the best prices possible. All kinds of unbelievable products, name brand, wow products, all the types of products we all want and need, but at great pricing. So that's number one. You get that. Okay, well, you might say, well, good, but I still got to spend my $15. Okay. So what if we say, okay, we're going to give you $30 every month for your 15? In other words, you're going to spend 15, but we're going to give you 30. And that's exactly what we're doing. Now, a lot of people go, well, that's impossible. How can you do that? Well, it's very simple. I happen to own a travel platform. And on that travel platform, guess what? I have margins on my product. So you can go to Expedia or Priceline or hotels.com, whoever you want, and you can pay retail. Or you can go to a travel agent, you can pay retail. Or however else you get your travel booked. Or you can go directly to the hotels and book a hotel room. Can you do that? Yeah, everybody does. You pay retail. Well, guess what happens? I have a what's called the contracted rate. I have huge margins between what I pay and what the world pays. So what am I doing? All I'm doing is taking that money and giving it to you in the form of these credits. I'm saying, I don't care about making any money off the bookings. I'll give that to you because what that does is allows this company, One Marketplace, to literally pay people to be here. Because we're going to give them, I mean, everybody books a hotel at least once a year and you can use up all your hotel credits at that point in time. So now you have that for your $15. Not bad. But you also have the $100 do nothing money. What is that? That's for the person that wants to come in, and I won't call them a loser, but it's somebody that's just not too motivated in life. But they'll look at this and say, well, I just want to come in. I want to get my hotel credits and my access and my silver, and I'm not going to do anything, and I'll just take my do nothing money. Well, you can do it, but again, yeah, that's a pretty low ambition level, I would think, in life. But you can. And guess what? This program works in such a way we can actually do that. So now a person can come in and just take a position in this. Eventually, they're going to be making $100 a month in the do nothing bonus. And then, of course, the silver. And the silver is a small part. And that happens after you're on board and after we get you into our system. So when you start getting paid in gold and silver and stuff, we have a bonus thing where we give you an additional amount of silver for free, but it's based on some activity on our program, our platform. And, of course, the last thing you get with the membership is, and this might be the reason you want to come in, right? Community pods. You can have as many as you want. We're going to talk about that in just a second. So before I move on, I'm only going to talk about 3 or 4 segments of this. Brig, Brian, any thoughts, comments, suggestions, whatever, before we leave this part behind?
Brig, you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I love seeing this because this is a great thing. And right now, anybody that's coming into CFORTH, they lock their position for $9.99. When we transition into One Marketplace, you're going to have the ability to be time stamped into it. You're instantly going to get your $30 in hotel credits, the extra half ounce of silver, but it's also going to allow you to start building your business today. I love that because it's a simple, it's a plug and play is the way I see it. Over to you, Brig.
Yeah, and the other thing is for the folks that are on that have been with us for a while, you founders and you 800 Club members and you just premium members who have been with us, understand this. We're relaunching a business that is a newer, fresher model. If people like our products, which they do, that's what's kept this thing going, they need to understand by staying active right now, they're locking in that position in the pods. Remember, this is a whole different model. It's not a binary unilevel. It's not even in the matrix, although we are a 2x10 or 2x infinity matrix. When you're getting in, you're securing your position and your timestamp that Mark talked about originally and the connective marketing. All of a sudden, it's real. Lock in your position. If you haven't talked to the people that have been in your group, as a matter of fact, I just talked to one of the guys that left the business because he says, well, I love the products, but it's not moving at the direction I want it to as fast as I want it to. I called him and told him about the model that Mark's recreated. Guess what? He came right back in. He's going, oh, I get it. Because I'm telling him, you lock in your position, and Mark's giving the founders the premier positions, the people who have built the business and founders, because they were first. They put up $1,000 to get in this, and they got $1,000. The 800 Club members, and then according to your level and according to your timestamp, you're in for life in this model, and it's never going to stop now. The rings continue to build. So, folks, you don't want to lose your position. This is where the connective marketing comes in. It's not going to happen overnight because we have to create, as Brian's saying, the momentum again. But please don't leave your people behind. Make sure that they understand they have until the end of the month, which is only a couple days left.
Yeah, it's one more week. That's it. That's it, Brig. One more week. And those numbers are permanently deleted then. So everybody had those original timestamps you're talking about, they're gone forever. And why is that important? Because you see that red dot on the screen right there? Probably anybody and everybody that came into this company early on as either a founder or in that what we call the 800 Club are going to sit in those first 2 or 3 rings. You know, first three. But after that, guess what's going to happen? They're going to lose it. And so you get to be at the very beginning of this. So it's, again, it's my way of saying to everybody, and Brig and all of us that are here, that guys, here's what you wanted. You have it, but you only have until March 31st to grab it back. If not, guess what happens? We give those positions to somebody else. After March 31st, those positions that we've set aside, they're gone. They have to, because we have to allow this to fill from the inside out. And we're already probably about 8 rings, 9 rings deep, heading towards 11 or 12 here in the next 30 days or so.
So it's so important in the next 48 hours. All of you need to get your list out, get your group out, make the calls, send them the video. That's all I've been doing, just sending out the new video and helping them to understand the timestamps for real. Your position is locked in. People are coming in and they're going to get the benefit. There's your connective marketing that you've been looking for. So don't let this pass you by. Now, let's say they do. No big deal. Get in as soon, just start again somewhere and get your timestamp. Stay on the product. All you got to do is stay on the product, stay on your subscription, and you're locked in for life. And then do what you do. Just tell other people about the product, share it with them, and let them choose customer, affiliate, or premier member. It's their choice. Back to you, Mark.
Yeah, and so it's going to be very easy, guys, as you can see with this global pod, and that's what these every one of these yellow rings represent. It's actually starting with 2 smart shoppers to 4 to 8 to 16, and it basically every ring doubles the ring before it, right? And this never stops until we get to a certain. This is finite, so there is a cutoff period. I'm not going to talk about that tonight, but it does reach a point where we're going to stop it and cut it off. But that's so far away, that's years away, so it's not something that concerns anybody right now. So what that means is that when people are coming in right now, they're locking their positions, which is that position you're seeing there, the red dot. But what about when do you want to get your pod started? Now, once you see what these pods are all about, I think if you really understand this, you'd rather have your pod started earlier rather than later. Because guess what? Those that start the pods now, which is nothing more than putting in a smart shopper, which is sharing the video, let a person look at it and say, hey, yeah, I want to be a part of this. Every time you put in one smart shopper, what have you done? You started one community pod. And you're going to want them as close to the center as you can get. Because that means these pods that are being built early stage are going to get filled very rapidly. And when you start looking at the amount of money you make from each pod, it's serious income. So let's take a look at what a pod looks like then. So that's the global thing as it fills, just 2 by every time a ring fills, it's twice as much as the next ring. And remember this, guys, this doubles automatically with nobody ever putting in more than 2 smart shoppers. But that's not going to happen here because this is connected marketing. It's different. It's fresh. It's new. You know, it's not about building a genealogy. So people are going to literally go out and put in 5, 10, 15, 20, who knows how many smart shoppers. I mean, we're going to have influencers are going to come in here that could put in hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands. And it's going to happen. I mean, Brian, you know for a fact, just from some of the people that you're bringing in from the example that have ministries and foundations. Well, what are they going to do? They're going to put in their congregation. They're going to put in the members of their association, whatever, to be smart shoppers because they know if I put in 100 smart shoppers, I just started 100 pods. And what does that mean to you? Well, let's look at the pods. So pod fills automatically. And by the way, you don't build this. When you see this 2, 4, 8, 6, it's not you helping 2 people and they help 2 people. That's network marketing. That happens over in CFORTH. You do build a genealogy in CFORTH. And by the way, that's one of the beauties of what you're doing here. You're building a typical network marketing genealogy in CFORTH, which is based on what you do and the helping those other people. Whereas in connective marketing, the only thing you do is put in smart shoppers and it gets built for you by everybody because everybody's incentivized to put in 5, 10, 15, 20 smart shoppers. And it's simple and easy. And of course, they can do it because we're Pay them to join, pay them to shop. So now that's a pod. What does that mean to you? Is those pods fill up from other people just joining? Well, here's the compensation from it. Membership. Just from the membership, the monthly memberships of Smart Shoppers, okay, you'll make about $1,300 from one complete pod. With the new Smart Shopper Pro, which we haven't introduced yet, but will be introduced before we launch, it increases the amount that goes into the memberships. And so then it can take your membership income this is every month, ladies and gentlemen, to 4,000. But that's nothing, because that's just strictly from the memberships. But what about from each pod that you start? How much do you make from the shopping? Well, this is based on an average spending of $70 per person, which is about $3, and it goes into for every Smart Shopper you have. You can see what the number looks like. That's over $6,000. Well, guess what? That's based on $70. We believe with the amount of products we're going to have and with the smart dollars we created with this, people are going to be spending a lot more than that. And if they do, guess what happens? You make more money from each one of your pods. That's one pod. Obviously, you put the two together, the membership from each pod, the shopping from each pod, then you're talking about over 10 grand per pod. So the only question you really got to ask yourself, since you don't have to know, train, or motivate, or build, or do any of that stuff, the only thing that you're going to really do is what? You're just going to invite Smart Shoppers. That's your only job in connective marketing, is to invite Smart Shoppers. And with the video and all the things we're doing, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming out with this really cool 30 second to a minute. I don't know how long it's going to be yet, but it's pretty close to somewhere in that range. It's a teaser video that you can send to anybody before you send them the bigger video, just to blow their minds and get their attention before you send the bigger. And that's going to be ready probably in less than the next week to 10 days. We're working on it really hard to get that done. So all you're going to do is invite Smart Shoppers. So the only question you really have to answer, right? And this is what I love about this. How many community pods do you want? If you knew for a fact that you can make $10,000 from one pod every month the rest of your life, how many of these would you want? And what do you have to do? You put in one person. You put in one Smart Shopper to create a pod. So before I jump ahead here on that and I go into anything else, anything else you want to? Anything on that, Brian or Brig, before I move on?
Yes. I am gnawing at the bit. I'm so excited about this, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you why. Any of us that's in CFORTH, all your personal referrals, whether they're affiliates, whether they're premiers, that represents a pod in one marketplace. You have people on here that are so used to building networks that could build massive networks. When this goes into the pods and you have your pods in one marketplace, you have a master builder like Brig Hart. You have a master builder like myself. You have a master builder like the founder and many others on here. As we're growing our businesses, they're filling your pods. The objective here is get as many pods in one marketplace as you possibly can. If it's 5 for you, great. If it's 10 for you, if it's 20, 50, 100 and beyond, that has the potential to bring $10,000 a month passive residual income per pod. And when you wrap your head around that, the magnitude of that is unstoppable. Over to you, Brig.
Yeah, and I've talked to Mark about this also. It's great to look at numbers, but let's put our feet on the ground, get our head into this so that you're not buying into something that you don't understand. You're still going to have to bring people in. In a perfect world, and I've told Mark we don't live in that perfect world, you put 2 people in and of course they'll go do their thing. It doesn't happen that way. I'm going to tell you, read my book. I know numbers. If I want 2 people to do anything, I have to put 20 people in. And you might get lucky, but I've never been lucky. So 20 is your number to get 2 good ones. But watch, don't let that be discouraging, because once you get started, you're going to meet better people as you grow, gain knowledge of what you're doing and how the business works. You'll communicate better. You're only going to get better if you practice a little at a time. So listen to me very carefully, write it down. You're going to enter this industry. I don't care what you call it. Networking, direct marketing, multi-level, relational marketing, connected. I don't care what you call it. We're in the people business. You keep telling one person at a time, and you never stop telling one person at a time. Why? Not everyone's looking. Some are, some aren't. How do you know if they're looking? You ask them if they are. But I'm going to meet more people. I'm loading my bus up now. I'm heading up north. I'm going to be on the road for 6 to 8 months. I'm going to meet new people wherever I go every day.
Yeah.
Is everyone a prospect? Yes. Does that mean I approach everyone? No. I look for people who are looking. I get into a conversation. I find out, hey, I like this guy or gal. Find out a little bit about them. If I find out that they want more than what they have, I might mention something about better health. There's 100 ways to open the door to sharing this. But my point being, we're in the people business. Please don't get in your mind, I'll put 2 people in, sit back and do nothing. It'll never, ever, ever, ever work. It never has, and it never will. But if you start and put one person at a time in because they see the benefits of the product or the opportunity, I don't care what they like most about it. It's their business. I'm just going to support them and help them get what they want out of it. So we're looking for people who are looking, but watch. When you get started, don't stop. Your goal, set a goal. Let me tell you, you want 2 really good people? Put 40 people in. Because I know the numbers. It's in my book. 15 to 20.
Hey, Brig, I got to add something to this because this is so cool. And what you're saying is so true. It's so true in network marketing. If for example, network marketing, you put in 2 people, you know that if you're going to get 2, they're going to go to work. You're going to have to put in 20, right? Okay, whatever the number is. It could be 30. It doesn't matter. But here's what I think is different. This is going to be exciting for all of you. On this side over here, which is the one marketplace, if you put in those 20 people thinking only 2 are going to go to work, guess what? You don't care. Because what happens is you just started 20 pods. Now, whether they go to work or not is up to them. But you yourself have started 20 pods. And I think that's what's going to happen here is we're going to see something a little different kind of dynamic happening because people are going to see this as something so simple and so easy. And I hate to say simple and easy, but I think it's going to be a lot of that. As a matter of fact, here's the example, Brig, and you'll love this. And I actually started this. I'm going to show a business card in a second. I have challenged my wife, who has a foundation, to go start 100 pods. Not 2, not 10, 100 pods. Not me doing it. I want her to do it. I've challenged her to do it. Now, let's see if she can do it. And she's going to start now. So we're going to check in about 30 days to see what she accomplished. And it's going to be interesting to see. But what if she fails miserably and she only has 10 pods started? Has she done okay? Probably so. And now she's a person that's not a big builder in network. She doesn't know how to build a network because she doesn't know how to motivate people, train, teach, and all the things you have to do. That's what's going to be different here. But the beauty of this, the people that do come in to connected marketing, guess what? That 20% that you just mentioned, Brig, the 20% that go to work, they're also going to be in CFORTH. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to be building a genealogy over there that they're going to be compensated based on their personal efforts. So the beauty of what we're doing here, and I hope everybody starts to see this, is that for people that are networkers that train and build and stuff, they're going to derive this unbelievable income over in CFORTH. For those that take the easier and simpler approach and are just kind of in today's world, younger people, they just want to make this thing simple and easy, they're going to be on the connective marketing side and they're going to build and build there. But 20% of their people will end up over in CFORTH building from the networking side. So you're going to end up with these 2 income streams. And that's what I love about where we're going, guys, is what this is going to do for everybody. I don't care what your background, who you are, what your skill sets. You're just going to have an opportunity here to do both and be successful at both, or maybe just one fits your fancy more. For you guys, everybody on this call, like with Brig, me, I don't care. If a person wants to do the one marketplace, do it. If they want to do CFORTH, do it. If they want to do both, God bless you. Let's do both. And I think we're going to get a lot of that. So now let's finish this up because the call's gotten a little bit longer, and I didn't mean to make it run this long, but we did have Brig on here tonight. We did have Brian on here, and I wanted you guys to hear from them because it's so important. So just to wrap it up, you guys know now you get paid 2 ways, right? You get paid in your currency of your choice as you earn your commissions, which you can choose to take it in gold, silver, crypto, or cash. And it could be the cash can be the fiat of your country. And then also you get the smart dollars. And the smart dollars is probably one of the most unique things about what we're doing here. Because what's the one thing we all want to have happen is if you've got 100 people in one of your pods or 1,000 people, what do you want them all doing? Shopping. Now, if a person has smart dollars, what are they going to do? They're going to shop. They're going to use those smart dollars. And when they do, what it's going to do is create more commissions back to you. And so that's one of the cool things about this is the smart dollars. There's also, if you look at this chart right here, and I just want to touch on this briefly, you notice that as the number of smart shoppers you put in goes up, what changes? Well, obviously, you get more in cash and less in smart dollars as you put in more smart shoppers. Now, why are we doing that? Because you want everybody. You'd love to have everybody in your pods all having 10 smart shoppers. Well, we're giving them a reason to do it. They don't have to, but imagine if you only put in 3 smart shoppers as an example, and it shows that you're capped at $3,000 a month. That's all you can take out of your pods. But you look in your back office and you say, wait a minute, I got 3 pods, but they could literally be paying me $8,000 a month instead of $3,000. How do I get it? Well, let's see. I guess you'd have to have 6 smart shoppers to get that $8,000 because it takes at least 6 smart shoppers to let you pay out as much as $10,000. Why are we doing that? Same reason. You don't want to have to promote or convince somebody to go get their smart shopper. You want them to do it for themselves. All I got to do is look at this and go, you know what? I need to add more smart shoppers because I want more cash, less smart dollars. I want bigger monthly income. And what I really want is to be at that 10th. I want to have 10 smart shoppers where if I'm making $100,000 a month or whatever I'm making, it's unlimited. It is unlimited. And I can make as much as every pod makes. So again, what we've done is we've set this up to incentivize people to go out and basically do it on their own. You don't have to worry about getting the 10. They're going to do it themselves. They're going to be rewarded to do it. You don't have to worry about people shopping. Why? Because of what? Smart dollars. Look at this. This little simple graph to me kind of sums it all up. How cool is this? You get a commission check, that first one there. You see the commission check, right? And part of your commission's in smart dollars. Now, where can you spend the smart dollars? On our shopping portal. So you go in and spend them. Well, guess what you just did? You created more commissions again because you use your smart dollar. So every month, this just cycle continues to happen. You get your commission, you take out all your cash, you have your smart dollars, you go spend them again. And when you do, you're creating more commissions. But what's everybody else doing? If you got 2,000 people in one pod and they're all spending their smart dollars, what do you think that just did to your commission check? And imagine when people have hundreds they got to spend in smart dollars every month, not $70, but $100 or $200 or $500 or $1,000. Eventually, that's going to happen to a lot of people. They're going to have to spend $1,000 every month shopping. You don't care. We all love it because it just, all it does is create this perpetual kind of continuation growth. So again, we set this up in such a way that the one job that we have to do at One Marketplace for you to make this successful is to continue to expand our product line. And that is something we're going to do non-stop. We are never going to stop expanding this product line, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to get bigger, bigger, and bigger, and bigger. And the more shoppers we add, the more products we're going to add. So with that, summarize. Guys, this is it. And Brig, if you both come back on here, I'm going to wrap it up here for this last part. Is the summary is we've got the products. We're going to add more and more. You're paid to join. You're paid to shop. You're paid for your pods. You're paid in the currency of your choice. Kind of cool. So what do you do? And this is it. What do you do now? What is the call to action? What do we all need to do here? Well, obviously, if you want to be in One Marketplace, you've got to join CFORTH now. And when you join, you can come in as an either affiliate or a premier member. Either way. But if you come in as a premier member, remember, you will go in before all the affiliates. All right. So that's important, right? So you might want to consider that when you're coming in is what, do I want to be an affiliate or I want to be a premier member? If I were you, I'd be a premier member because for the cost of these products, I mean, you can buy the products that save you more than you spend if you want. But like this is my PFPB. I take this every day. It's got the Acai Plus in it because I take that every day. And because of that, I challenge anybody to keep up with my energy levels and the way I feel because I just feel so good. I've gotten younger. I've gotten stronger. I've gotten more vitality than I've ever had in my life. I've got more mental clarity than I've ever had in my life. So we got these great products. So you have to decide which one do you want. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to let Brig and Brian close this. Last thing I want to share with everybody, and I hope you get this from the message. It's great if you sign up as a Premier Affiliate member right now. That's wonderful. But if you do that, how many pods have you started? Now, remember, this doesn't launch till the end of June. And if you looked at those rings that are starting to fill right now, and we're probably going to have 10 to 12 rings completely full by the time this thing launches, where would you want your smart shoppers to be? Where would you want your pods to be?
As close to the center as possible.
Right. Of course you would. So how can you make that happen? Well, there's only one way you can happen. You can put in your smart shopper. So I was talking to Bruce today, that visited me. And he was going, what do I do? What do I do, Mark? Because everybody wants to, what's it? I said, well, Bruce, I said, you can wait. You can wait till we launch, and then you can put in one smart shopper a month. Great. You're going to be fine. You're going to have plenty of success. But if you were smart, and if you really understand this video, what would be the most critical thing? Yeah, I don't care if you're going to say your goal is 10 pods. Should you put them in today, or should you put them in 5 months from now? Pretty simple answer, right? If you put them in today, what did you just do? Those pods are very close to the center. That means by the time this thing launches, your pods are going to be, probably a lot of them are going to be almost half full, 3/4 filled. Some will be completely filled. We've actually got pods right now, even though we haven't launched, that are almost full because of where some people sit already. So with that, I'm going to let you guys close it up and say the closing words. You, Brian, you first, and Brig, I want to let you close it because I just love you being here.
Why don't you stop the screen share, Mark?
Yeah, I can do that. Good thinking, Dave. See, that's why Dave gets the big bucks.
That's right.
Gentlemen, you heard some great information this evening. One of the things I want to suggest is now it's the time for a call to action. Have a sense of urgency. Don't hesitate on this, because as Mark was sharing, the pods are going to help you enhance your business, but it all starts with you out there doing your daily income generating activities. I call it DIGA, DIGA. Daily income generating activities means you're out there, not out there headhunting. You're just doing your normal everyday routines, but you're meeting people, you're connecting with people. As Brig said, we are in the people business. We're not in the gold business. We're not in CFORTH. We're in the people business. Yes, we are part of CFORTH, but we're in the people business. And without people, you're not going to grow. But everyone you come in contact with, they are a potential candidate. That candidate could be a shopper. That candidate can be an affiliate. That candidate can be a premier member. And even me as a builder, I'm out there doing my daily income generating activity daily, whether I'm on the phone, whether I'm on a Zoom, whether I'm belly to belly. I'm always out there connecting. I learned that through the ABCs. Always be closing and sharing the opportunity, sharing the concept, sharing your story of the products, sharing the story of somebody else's product. Some of you are new tonight. That's excellent. Let's help you create a story. Let that story be you starting tonight by taking action. Take it while it's fresh in your mind tonight, and go apply that tonight. And each and every one of you this week, by the close of the month, can have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 new members in your business.
Yeah.
But
take it. Brian, that's why I say I love Brig's book. Why not you? Why not now? I mean, what a great title. I mean, I wish I could come up with that title. That's so good.
And you know what, Mark, you said something too. Why not you? Why not now? Many of us on this call got introduced to Bitcoin when it was 1 penny, 2 pennies, 10 pennies, 25 cents, 35 cents, $1. Today it's 90,000. This is that Bitcoin moment right now, in my opinion, on a global scale. This is a chance for us to create change in our homes and create the economy, create change in our communities, create the economy, create change in our states, create the economy, create change in our country, create the economy, create change in the world, create economy. This is a echoed, enclosed economy that each and every one of us benefit from by sharing to others. And as this transitions into one marketplace, everyone's business is helping everybody. And that's very, very unique. So with that being said, I just take action, get excited, reach out to the people, and get back to the person that invited you. Over to you, Mark, and over to you, Brig.
No, I'm done. Brig, close it out.
Well, I got a little acronym, TNT. Today, not tomorrow. We want to create some excitement. We want to create little mini explosions, TNT. You got to start today, not tomorrow. There's no promise of tomorrow, my friend. So let's think about this. Let's break this down. Why did I name this book? I had three names, and right before I published it, I was praying about it, and because someone was asking me, how do you summarize your book? And I said, well, wait a minute. This book is about all the people on this call that are listening. It's about you. This book is more about the story, your story, than my own. I'm just kind of framing it up with my life experiences and how this industry drove me into relational marketing. Everything was about people. And I realized something. I says, I got started. I didn't do well at first because you got to be bad at something before you're good at it. But I hung in there because of one thing: relationships. And I'm telling you, that's so important. That's why regardless of what we titled this or what title you want to put on how you're building this model, I'm in relational marketing. I'm in the people business. So I'm going to add something to this tonight. If I rewrote the book now and a year from now, this thing really takes off, it goes great and all that, people are always going, man, I wish I'd, wait a minute. Well, hold. You're on the call tonight. Why not you? What's the big risk? Whether you get in for $9.95, whether you get in for $500, get in where you feel comfortable. Get your product, start sharing it, but consuming it. Use merchandise and teach. Use your own products, merchandise a little bit, teach. Why not you? Because who else is going to come to you? Someone shared this with you. Thank them. Why not you? You're a person that's here because you want something more. Why not now? Because there is no promise of tomorrow. Today, not tomorrow. Do it now. Mañana, mañana, mañana are the people that never, ever, ever accomplish anything. Always putting it off till tomorrow. But I'm going to add a new one. Why not this? Why not you? Why not today, tonight, March 26, 2025, with the golden age and everything turning around? Why not this? And I'm going to answer the question, why not this? Is because how long are you going to wait for another opportunity to come along that even looks this good, sounds this good, is around the right kind of people, the right products, the right place, the right time? Check, 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 check. So why not this? And I'm going to tell you why not this. Because it's no big risk, folks. I've invested millions of dollars in businesses and lost. But in network marketing, I've never lost. Relational marketing, you can't lose as long as you're doing what I'm sharing with you, what Mark shared. Share this with someone else. You get one other person, and here's what the Bible says: two touching anything, agreeing upon it, it'll be done as my Father in heaven. One puts 1,000 to flight, two 10,000. You get someone running with you in this, you'll build a pod or two or three. You'll make $12,000 a month, and you're just getting started. That's why you never stop. So why not this? Well, what are you going to do? What are you going to wait another 10 years for something to come along? Folks, take advantage of this tonight. There is no promise of tomorrow. You can do it. We're not asking you to risk your whole. This isn't, oh man, if I don't make it. The only reason you don't make it in this is because you quit. So get started, stay started, and don't quit. God bless you.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. And God bless. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Much appreciated. Thanks, Brig. Thanks, Brian. Hey, Dave. Good night.
God bless. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Brig.
Yeah. See everybody next week.
Ciao.